Welcome, friends. Today we'll continue studying Ellen White's great controversy. In this chapter, we will talk about the light that was lit in Switzerland. Ulrich Zwingli preached to the faithful the sufficiency of Christ's sacrifice and the necessity of faith in Him as the only remedy for sin. Zwingli was born under the majestic mountains of the Swiss Alps, a man full of talent with special gifts in preaching and with musical and poetic genius. This priest was called by God to raise Christ from the deep knowledge of the Scriptures. Contrary to the fanatism with which the believers acted and the superstition with which Rome mixed religious matters, Zwingli preached to the faithful the sufficiency of Christ's sacrifice and the necessity of faith in Him as the only remedy for sin. Many of those who listened to him were frustrated with these new teachings, since they were satisfied with the old way to heaven that Rome had laid out. Others, however, listened to his words with the deepest interest, giving praise to God. The contrast between tradition and customs versus the freshness of the gospel was evident. While the reformers strove to present free forgiveness through the blood of Christ, Rome redoubled its interest in offering forgiveness in exchange for money. Every sin had a price, and men were given license to commit crimes as long as the money kept the church treasury well filled. In Switzerland, the reformist theses were gaining ground among the faithful. The sale of indulgences plummeted as people became convinced of the need to have a more secure foundation for their faith. It seemed that nothing could stop the winds of change blowing through this beautiful European country. But in 1519, the plague caused a great mortality from which Zwingli narrowly escaped. Once recovered, he preached the precious gospel even more enthusiastically than ever before. He presented the righteousness of Christ by declaring with power that men, because of the grace of Christ, are not free to continue in sin. The Cathedral of Zurich was filled with crowds of people, and the impact was a testimony for the city. Peace has its dwelling in our people, commented Zwingli. There's no strife, no hypocrisy, no envy, no scandals. The preacher related such peace to the fruits of faith. The chapter concludes by describing a new meeting organized by the supporters of Rome. In that council, everything possible would be done so that the reformer would be present, since it had already been decided to cause his death by burning him at the stake. Zwingli decided to be absent, although the Reformed faith was presented by two courageous collaborators, whose humble attitude contrasted with the Romanist pride. While one appealed to tradition, the other recognized no other form than the Bible. The debate caused two other Swiss cities, Bern and Basel, in addition to Zurich, to declare themselves in favor of the Reformation, which gave a definite boost to the Reformed faith in Europe. Dear friends, throughout history, in every time and place, God has always raised lights in the midst of darkness. Today is not different. In a dark and nameless world, God wants to make of every faithful child a light that is able to illuminate in the middle of darkness.